Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for another video from, well, me. This time, I think I'm going to be talking about the current, why the election of Donald Trump in 2016 and his inauguration in 2017 was proof that our current government is failing. I don't know if, okay, a little bit of my history. In high school, I was a young Republican. I was raised Republican, raised to support the Republican values, the Republican way of life. You know, the rich stay rich, the poor stay poor. Um, Later in life, I started realizing that the rich stay rich, the poor stay poor with both parties. And, I started having an issue with it. And then I came to the realization last election that the United States, as a general, as a whole, me, you, your aunt, your mom, your sister, your brother, your, cousin, all your family over 18 that votes, our vote does not matter. It really doesn't. Hillary Clinton won last election of the popular vote, mine, yours, and everybody else's, by a landslide, by, a quarter of a billion. A quarter of a billion people, or a quarter of a million. Either way, she won by 250 plus thousand votes. But she did not win by the Electoral College. And why is that? Because states like, my home state, Texas, get huge amounts of votes, whereas states like New York or Delaware, Rhode Island don't. On top of that, all these people in the Electoral College are paid and bought. If you really look at it, they have a political party. They have a political stance. It's not oh, well, these are non-biased individuals. These are people who can be bought by special interest groups on top of parties. Donald Trump did not win the last election. He's not my president. And that's just that. I know these videos, because of the phone, have to be short, which is an issue for me. But, quickly touching on the topic of the state of emergency that he was recently about to declare. State of emergency. Yes, the president is in charge of deciding what a state of emergency is, in their opinion. But it was not designed to be a way to circumvent the weights and balances system of our government. Congress is there to keep the president in check. The president's there to keep Congress in check. The Supreme Court's there to keep both of them in check. Why are they keep, and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, in my opinion, having a political party decide who's in the Supreme Court is one issue that Donald Trump put two appointees in the Supreme Court. Two, having a president being able to say, oh, well, you're not going to give me the funding I need for this, so it's a state of emergency, so I can grab it from anywhere else I feel like. I know that the state of emergency in the Constitution is very, very horribly worded. It doesn't define what emergency is. But we could do better than that. Maybe, after this whole thing's done and over with, Congress will actually realize that they need to go in and amend the amendment. They need to go in and change the wording so the president can't do that to circumvent them. Currently, we're on our way to an authoritarian state just because Donald Trump's doing what he wants when he wants. He's letting people goad him into doing stupid stuff. There's a bunch of other things that need to be talked about that this country needs to open their eyes about. There's no point in owning an AR-15 assault rifle. There's 0 point. There's even less point to own a bump stock to it to make it basically fire as an automatic. There's no point in owning a silenced weapon. There's no point in owning Class A or Class B body armor unless you're in the military, armed forces, or some kind of service where you need it, like security. I did security in Houston, and there was times that I wish I'd had it. But plain and simple, there's a bunch of things in this country that are wrong and very little that are right. And it all boils down to the fact that we have this bipartisan system that has never really 100% worked, but it's always been good enough. Um, right now, when it comes to elections, it's literally you've got the choice of the lesser of two evils, in your opinion, and that's not right. We shouldn't be run by someone who we think's less evil than the other person. We should be run by someone we agree with, that we like, that has ideas that are going to better this country. The wall between the United States and Mexico is not going to make the country better. Having more people having to sneak across in other underhanded manners is just going to mean that they're more willing to do stuff to break the law to get here. And what are they going to do when they get here? How are they going to break the laws then? Um, you know, Making it easier on people to immigrate to the United States is not the answer either. Um, Maybe having an open border policy where we can go back and forth between these countries without the need of a passport. Being able to apply for a visitor's visa that, you know, is tracked somehow, that, you know, they check on you, once every couple days with the Border Patrol, something like that. Maybe instead of using the border money for the wall, use it for education and public works and healthcare, and add more Border Patrol. Train Border Patrol how to find these individuals before they come across. Have more checkpoints that aren't on roads. You know, Stuff like that. But anyway, the whole point of this video is just to point out the, travesty that the United States is in right now. The travesty of our government, the travesty of our electoral system, the fact that the Electoral College needs to get kicked out and the people's votes are what need to be counted. There is just way too much going on and way too much at fault with our current system of government, including the bi-party system. We need to have equal time for the third party, the fourth party, the fifth party, the sixth party candidates. Yes, not everybody wants to hear the Green Party. Not everybody wants to hear the Marijuana Party. Not everybody wants to hear the Communist Party or the National Socialist Party.